Today we're talking about high ticket sales. Today we're talking about big money sales. Hey, I'm Molly from the visibility hacking team, and I hated sales for most of my life. I mean, like sales calls, you've probably heard the story before, but sales calls honestly made my palms sweaty. I was cold, I was nervous, and I'd pick up the phone and I'd just hope that there was no one on the other line, that they didn't show up, that it was a missed number, whatever. I just didn't want to have those calls, regardless of what I was selling. Until I learned the secret to high ticket sales. Then everything changed. Now all I want to do is those high ticket sales calls, and all of the other ones seem to be a waste of my time and energy. So I'm going to talk to you today about why I think high ticket sales are so magical and what you can do to start generating them on your own business. We're going to talk about the non-salesy way that you can set up any sales call. I'm also going to teach you, don't hate me for this, but I'm going to show you how to pour salt into their wounds nicely with a smile. It'll all make sense later. Stay tuned. And at the end of the video, you gotta stay tuned for it, but I'm gonna share with you the low pressure way that you can ask for the sale. The ultimate way to get those big dollars in your bank account when you actually ask them for the sale. So stay tuned for that one. Here we go. Let's roll the intro. So you want to set up the sales call, but you don't want it to feel like a sales call. You want to get that nervousness out of the way. You want to get that wall out of the way. You know, every customer is going to build up this wall when they get on that sales call where they're defensive, right? They're hiding behind this wall where they think that they have all the excuses and they know that they have the lines. They know they're going into a sales call, so they're ready for it. They're prepared to say, no, thank you. What I want you to do to very quickly change that dynamic is I want you to take control of the experience. And this is a really powerful thing that big companies like Disney do really, really well. They control the entire experience. And so what I want you to do when you start this sales call is I want you to get your customer, don't actually get them to close their eyes, but what I want you to do is get them to envision what success actually looks like. Just be curious about it. If, say, you're helping people lose weight, I want you to ask them what that means to them and what does that success look like? Does it mean that they're fitting into their clothes better, or does it mean that they can chase after their kids better, or is it something different? Understanding what that core value is that's motivating and pushing your customer towards your solution, understanding what that is absolutely essential to any sales call. Any sales call. But if you're in the high pressure environment of a high ticket sales, you're asking people for a lot more money. So understanding who they are does two things. One, it helps us understand what is the actual underlying value that's motivating your customer. But it's also, on the other hand, an opportunity to build connection to your customer. So understand where they are in their journey right now. What's going on in their life or their world or their business? What is it that you can help them solve? And then genuinely connect to solving that problem with them. That way, we know that our customer has an idea of success in mind, and we know what we have to do in order to get them there. If they say that they want to climb mountain number A, and we instead take them over to the really nice lake over on the other side of the map, they're not going to be satisfied. They've told you exactly what success they want to achieve, so you just go ahead and help them find that solution. So you listen for those motivating factors, so those deep underlying values, and then tie your solutions to them. Makes sense. Okay, honestly, guys, let's have a conversation here. Is this a revolutionary idea? Because it honestly was to me. Sometimes in the early part of my career, I was unintentionally doing this by just casually connecting to my customers. But when I consciously realize that this is the frame that I have to go into, this is the intent of that first beginning section of the call, it changed everything. So if this was controversial, or if this is new, or maybe I'm totally off base and this is totally old information, I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear what you think. Once we have this idea of what our customer wants as success, I then want you to get into the second phase of the call. And that is where we look at what their past path has looked like before. So we're going to ask them, what were the other things that you did that you tried to help get you to the top of that mountain, to help you achieve that success? Were there other programs you tried? Were there other products you tried? What were the other clearly low-cost solutions that you've tried? Band-aid solutions is what I like to call them. What have you tried in the past, and why didn't it work? One hand, this is helping you, again, deepen that understanding and connection to your customer. You're understanding what their thought process is. You're understanding what struggles that they've gone through already. You can understand how they've been let down or misled in the past. You can find points of empathy with them. On the other hand, you can also point out the differences between your product and the products you've tried before. The differences between trying all of these Band-Aid solutions and your maybe comprehensive, complete package of an offer that is positioned as this solution to their problems. Whatever it is, understanding that is the key. I got a low-cost solution for you that actually works. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, and you will become an official YouTube visibility hacker. And you can join us here on the channel. We got new videos for you every week. So click that button. Go ahead. I'll wait. The thing that usually gets most people afraid in high ticket sales, both customers and business owners or salespeople, is the price. That is the number that scares people. So some sales coaches will teach you to write it down on a piece of paper so you don't have to say it, you can just show it. It psychologically changes how that information is processed. Yes and no. But honestly, the way that is most impactful is to stop talking about price. First, I want you to actually connect back to all that information we just understood and just gathered from our customer while we were talking with them earlier. And now we know what pain points are important to them. What things have they tried before, and what did they put into that? What price did they pay for it? What long-term impacts did that have? What was that failure like? And how can we help them avoid that? Instead, I want you to start talking about value. What is the value of that piece of your offer to your customer? How can that piece of your offer help solve a problem for your customer? And what would the value of that solution be? Easiest way to think about this is looking at a business. So if you're selling something to a business, a service to a business, you need to be able to say the $100 you're paying for this service is going to get you more than $100 in revenue. You want to see that progress, right? So instead, you could say something like, well, your last person you hired for project A it cost you $100, but really, what it really cost you was tens of thousands of dollars, because look at the amount of time that you had to devote to retraining your staff on this entirely different program, and then how much time you spent on the phone with customer service and support trying to get it to be fixed because they didn't give you a comprehensive setup. Blah, 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 blah. These are the pieces of information we're gathering from those first parts of the conversation. We now know that we can either raise the value of certain pieces or take emphasis off of certain pieces because they aren't as impactful as other pieces of that offer are to our customers. Does that make sense? It's all honestly just about connecting to your customers, understanding where they are, what struggles they've been going through, what's motivating them to continue to find a solution, even though they've gotten the short end of the stick in the past or they failed in the past. What's keeping them, what's pushing them towards that goal still? That then helps you create a narrative, create a message that speaks specifically to the pain points of that customer. Bonus points, collect all this information, gather it, mull over it with your team on a regular basis, because that is how you best understand your customer and your market. Remember, a market isn't just a collection of data. A market or a niche is an actual group of real people. So when you remember that, your sales process is going to completely change. It's going to be way more fun. And well, the easiest way to get people into your world and get them to understand what your program is so that they start calling you instead of you having to outreach to them as potential customers, that secret, my friend, well, you can find it out at visibilityhacking.com. Click the button at the top of the page and become an official visibility hacker. In our Facebook group, that's where that link is going to send you. In our Facebook group, we go live on a regular basis. We have an awesome show on Friday nights called Friday Night Live, where the visibility hacking team comes together. We answer your questions. We show you some cool new things that are happening in the world of connection machines, connecting to our customers, regardless of how big our brands are. And the coolest part, it's absolutely free. So head on over to visibilityhacking.com, click the link at the top of the page, I should say, and join us and become an official visibility hacker. I would love to see you there. Also, make sure you subscribe here, check out these videos. I'll see you in our next one. Until then, remember, I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live.